Hello, it's Rochelle, and I want to read a book to you. This is a special book about trees because in the OWL class we have been learning about trees. I left my diagram here. Can everybody remember what the parts of a tree are? Remember, the top is called a crown, and the middle part that's long and usually brown, sometimes white, is called the trunk. And the parts that hold it in the ground and are under the ground that keep the tree nice and strong is called the roots. So this book that I'm going to share with you today, I'll show you the cover. And these words are the title, and they say, a grand old tree. Here's the word tree. T-R-E-E. And it's by Mary Newell de Palma. Okay, I'm ready to get started. Once there was a grand old tree. Her roots sank deep into the earth, and her arms reached high into the sky. You see the roots down below and the branches high in the sky. She was a home to many creatures. Birds nested among her branches, and squirrels scurried through her leaves. Caterpillars and ladybugs crawled about. The grand old tree flowered. And what season, what time of year do trees have flowers on them? Think, think, think. We were talking about this in one of our Zoom meetings. In the springtime, trees have flowers. And the tree bore fruit. That happens in the autumn. I'm so sorry, I keep scratching, clearing my throat. And sowed seeds. The tree had many children. So the tree lost its seeds, and they flew in the wind and planted right here and here and grew into baby trees. They changed the landscape for miles around, perhaps even farther than the old tree knew. Because look what else happens. Sometimes birds take a seed from a tree and they fly far away and drop it into the ground. And then a baby tree grows there too. But its mama might be far, far away, back where the grand old tree was. The grand old tree lived a long, long time. She basked in the sun, bathed in the rain, swayed in the breeze, and danced in the wind. She grew and she shed. Look at all those different stages that a tree might be in. Many millions of leaves she shed, and at last the grand old tree was very, very old. Her branches no longer swayed and danced, but cracked and snapped in the wind. Sometimes when trees get old, then their branches might start to break. I wonder what's going to happen. She finally fell, and snow gently covered her. I see. Oh, and there's an owl at nighttime. The old tree died, but she no longer flowered, bore fruit, or sowed seeds. But look, who's still sitting on her branches? The animals are still using her because she was still home to many creatures. Raccoons nested in her trunk, and centipedes crawled along her branches, and lichen grew on her bark. If you ever observe a tree branch really, really closely, you might see a really tiny little green plant, and that is called lichen. It grows on tree branches. The grand old tree slowly crumbled, and she became part of the earth. Today, the roots of her grandchildren sink deep into the earth, and their arms reach high into the sky. And they are home to many, many creatures. Just like the grand old tree. The end. There's the picture of the back. So that's the thing about trees, is they live a really long time, and big trees help spread seeds, and eventually those seeds grow into baby trees, and then they grow bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they become grand old trees. And yeah, sometimes the grand old trees might fall down and get old and die. But even when a tree falls over, they still provide homes for so many animals. That's why I love trees so much. So I hope next time you are outside or even inside and looking out your window, you can see the different trees that are in your neighborhood. Okay, goodbye everyone.